Many car owners trust their mechanic without realizing they might be paying for things they don't need. Today, we'll go through 10 common scams mechanics use to overcharge or upsell. Knowing these tricks will help you save money and avoid unnecessary repairs. Which of these have you seen? Let's start with one of the most common. At number 10, the dirty air filter scam. A mechanic might pull out your air filter, show you some dust, and claim it needs replacing immediately. In reality, most air filters can function well even with visible dirt and only need replacement every 12,000 to 15,000 miles, 19,000 to 24,000 kilometers under normal driving conditions. The trick here is that a slightly dirty filter is still doing its job, and replacing it too early only benefits the mechanic's pocket. Always check your vehicle's manual for the recommended replacement interval and inspect the filter yourself in good light. If you drive in unusually dusty conditions, you might need a change sooner, but that's the exception, not the rule. A $20 part shouldn't suddenly become a $60 upsell. Ask to keep the old part if they replace it. Scammers dislike giving evidence back. And speaking of unnecessary part swaps, at number 9, you need new brake pads now. Trick brakes are vital, but scammers know that fear sells. A dishonest mechanic might claim your brake pads are dangerously worn when they're still within the safe thickness. Most brake pads have wear indicators, small metal tabs that make noise when pads are truly near the end. In general, pads should be replaced when they're about 3 millimeters thick. Some mechanics will exaggerate wear, showing you a pad covered in brake dust to make it look thinner. The solution is simple. Ask them to measure the pad thickness in front of you. You can also learn to check through the wheel spokes, or by removing the wheel yourself. Knowing your pad's condition stops you from replacing them prematurely and wasting money. Next up, we have one that often sounds technical, but is easy to fake. At number 8, the fluid flush overkill. Transmission fluid, brake fluid, coolant. They all need changing, but not as often as scammers claim. Mechanic may say your fluid is dirty and must be flushed immediately, even if it's within the manufacturer's recommended lifespan. Some will even show you a sample of fluid from another car to prove their point. Most modern vehicles can go 30,000 to 60,000 miles, 48,000 to 96,000 kilometers before certain fluid changes. Always consult your owner's manual for exact intervals, as they vary by vehicle and climate. Fluid color alone is not always an indicator of quality. Some fluids darken naturally, without losing effectiveness. If you suspect upselling, request a chemical test strip or get a second opinion. Paying $150 for an unneeded flush is an easy way to lose cash. This next one uses safety as pressure. At number 7, the unsafe tire. Pitch tires wear out, but scammers know it's easy to convince drivers they're in danger. A dishonest shop may claim your tires have dangerously low tread when they're still safe. The legal limit in many countries is to 30 seconds of an inch, about 1.6 millimeters. You can check this using a tread depth gauge or even a coin in the United States. The penny test works. Some mechanics will also say your tires are dry rotting from age when the surface cracks are minimal and harmless. Tires are under 5 years old and have good tread, they're often fine. Insist on seeing a measurement and manufacturing date on the sidewall before replacing. Tire changes are one of the highest profit margins for a shop, so skepticism can save you hundreds. From tires to timing belts, another big money maker. At number 6, the timing belt emergency lie. Timing belts are important because if they fail, the engine can suffer major damage. However, replacing them too early is a costly waste. Many cars need timing belt changes between 60,000 and 100,000 miles, 96,000 to 160,000 kilometers. And the schedule is clearly listed in your manual. A scammer might claim yours is about to snap with no proof, pushing you into a $600, $1,000 job. Unless the belt shows visible cracks, fraying, or missing teeth, and it's past the mileage limit, you likely have time. Always ask when it was last replaced and request to see the belt. If a shop refuses, that's a warning sign. Replacing it at the correct interval is essential. Replacing it too early is just a payday for them now. Let's talk about something that sounds urgent but often eyes in. Single quotes at number 5. The check engine light panic. Your check engine light can mean anything from a loose gas cap to a failing sensor. Unscrupulous mechanics know that most drivers panic when they see it. They might run a diagnostic, throw out a scary-sounding repair, and charge hundreds without explaining the actual fault code. Modern cars store diagnostic trouble codes, DTCs, which you can read with an inexpensive onboard diagnostics 2 OBD2 scanner. This lets you see the exact issue before agreeing to repairs. Sometimes the fix is as simple as tightening the gas cap or replacing a $20 sensor. If a shop refuses to show you the code or explain it clearly, they might be hiding how minor the problem is. Take control of this knowledge of the exact code can save you a lot. The next scam uses a simple part as a moneymaker. At number 4, the wiper blade ripoff. Wiper blades are cheap and easy to replace yourself, often costing $10, $25 per blade. However, some shops charge double or triple for the same part and add labor fees you might also claim you need. New blades, every oil change, even if your current ones are working fine. The truth is, most blades last 6 months to a year, depending on climate. Signs you need new ones include streaking, skipping, or cracked rubber. Inspect them yourself before agreeing to replacement. If you do need new blades, buy them from an auto parts store and install them. It usually takes less than 5 minutes. This small habit can save you from paying $50, $70 for a 5-minute job. And speaking of small, unnecessary jobs, at number 3, the battery replacement. Push batteries wear out, but not every starting issue means yours is bad. Mechanics might test your battery and claim it's weak when it's simply undercharged. Cold weather or a short trip pattern can temporarily lower voltage. A healthy car battery typically lasts 3 to 5 years. Always ask for a printout of the load test results. Good testers measure cold cranking and PES-CCA against the battery's rated capacity. If the CCA is still close to its rating, charging the battery might solve the problem. Also check the alternator, as a bad alternator can mimic battery failure. Paying $150 for a new battery when a $20 recharge would work is exactly what this scam counts on. The next one preys on drivers who don't know their car's service schedule. At number 2, the scheduled maintenance. Stretcher owners. Manual lists exactly what needs to be done and when. Dishonest shops sometimes invent extra manufacturer-recommended services not listed in the manual. This could be unnecessary fuel injector cleaning, extra oil changes, or additive treatments. While some add-ons have value in specific cases, most are pure profit. Ask the shop to show the page in your manual that lists the service. If they can't, you can skip it. This one is subtle because it sounds routine and professional. But over time, paying for 2 or 3 unnecessary services a year adds up to hundreds wasted. Keep a copy of your schedule and follow it strictly. It's the best defense against this scam. Finally, one of the oldest tricks in the book. At number 1, the parts not returned scam. When a mechanic replaces a part, you have the right to ask for the old one back. Scammers avoid this because it exposes whether the part was actually replaced or even faulty. Some shops will charge for a replacement but either clean and reinstall your old part or skip the job entirely. Always request the old part in advance. Saying this up front discourages dishonest behavior. For expensive repairs like alternators or starters, having the part in hand lets you verify the work and, in some cases, return it for a core charge refund. If a shop refuses or makes excuses about disposal, consider that a red flag. This one move can prevent hundreds in fake charges. Mechanic scams work because most drivers don't challenge what they're told. Learning these tricks helps you protect your wallet and your vehicle. Which of these scams have you faced? Share your experience in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more practical car tips.